This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said, if not,
enjoy the show.
Previously on The Black Man Misunderstood.
Hey y'all, my name is Janet Tompkins. I'm affectionately known as the Baltimore real estate diva because I buy houses like other women buy shoes.
Black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist.
Welcome to the Black Man Misunderstood podcast. Here we discuss topics about the black man that others are afraid to speak on. I'm your host, Mike B, and I'm always rocking with my brother.
Your neighborhood therapist.
And this is episode 13 of season 3. Forgive, but I won't forget.
That's a unique title right there, man. What was on your heart when you came up with this topic right here?
Bruh, when I came up with this title, I guess I was just thinking about like, what are some things black men go through, right? And then I looked at my life personally, and I basically one through that I think everyone can talk about is this forgiveness aspect. So it's gonna go back to my father. And like not everyone knows the full story of my father, but no, there's little issues between me and my father. Nothing crazy to really talk about, but and when people hear me speak, they don't really hear me mention my father a lot. It's more so talking about my mom and my sister and everything. Mm-hmm. That's because I have I can say I had somewhat of a strained relationship with my father. Mm-hmm. As I gotten older, I've wised up to certain things and started to let go of things. So that's where I was when I thought about this episode, I was thinking about my personal journey of forgiving my father, but not forgetting. Yeah.
You feel like that that's eating you up? Not forgetting?
No, honestly, no. I don't think it's eating me up at all. I guess it's making me wise to certain things, or acknowledge certain things about myself that I probably would have never acknowledged if I never just thought about that concept of it.
So I got a really good question.
All right.
What were you taught growing up about forgiveness?
It's kind of funny. Like I'm trying to actually think about this, right? Because like
it doesn't readily come to your head, right?
It doesn't come to my head. Yo, it really don't. Like they don't tell you how to forgive someone and move on to the situation. Like you'll hear people's stories about it, but like an actual way of doing it and processing it, I don't think you really do learn about it.
Based off of the statement, right? Forgive, but don't forget. Like my mind automatically goes to Tupac. Forgive, but don't forget, girl, keep your head up. Like that is, to me, that is the first time I ever heard anything like that, right? But when I think of like forgiveness, the word itself, all I can think about is the streets or my mom. And if somebody hit me, it's automatic on site. Nah, hit him back. Ain't no forgiveness. Like it's on site.
Facts.
So that's why I'm asking, like, what was your earliest teaching of forgive, but don't forget? Where did that come from for you?
Forgive. You know what? Nerd, geek, whatever you want to call it, when we were in school. And I think this was even prior to you. Like, I got bullied a lot by certain people, But you know me, I did.
Prior to 2001.
Yeah, prior.
Okay, because 2001, it was on site. I wasn't going for none of that. Hey, let me be very clear, okay?
Yes.
I
Prior to you.
returned back to Patterson in 2001. And ain't nobody smoking with Mike B, okay? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he's stupid. But nah, like, and I can remember those individuals as we got older, right? They wanted to be all buddy and cool with us. So I guess my own going through my own experiences is like I forgave him for it already, or it was a sense of forgiveness, but I never actually like thought about it in that manner, and but I never forgot it at the same time. You get what I'm saying?
True. I see.
So that's my earliest concept of it, and of course, in the Bible, you know, me being Christian, the whole forgiveness piece, but I don't necessarily think the forget part is taught, right? That part, I think that's more so like a man-made quote about forgiving but not forgetting. But the concept still works in Christianity, and people don't even realize it. Like we said in the previous episode when we had the conversation, is Christianity outdated? And other episode from last season. But like God's grace is basically him forgiving us for our past transgressions.
Right.
But also not forgetting that we did go through them at the same time. And people don't catch that. People just think, oh, forgiveness. All right, cool. Nah, he ain't forget none of that. He know that's what you had.
You're supposed to be judged, correct?
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like the forgiveness and not forget, that concept is there, but it's not said together as we see it outside the church walls. You get what I'm saying?
So something that I believe, right, based off of this topic, I'm one of those people that I want to forgive and I want to have selective forgetting. Very selective forgetting. If we went to war, I don't want to forget that. Because that means at any moment we can go to war again. You see what I'm saying? But if like take my exes, for instance, like if I enter the room with them, basically it don't matter what we've been through and things like that. I feel like we could have a conversation because I'm not about to be holding nothing against you from, when we was younger. You see what I'm saying? But that type of energy, like I will dead ass like forget what you've done because what does it matter now? Like it in my eyes, it's like I got to this point somehow, some way. Like all I gotta really do is really just say, I appreciate you. The goods and the bads. I appreciate you because I got to this point to where I am now with somebody that, can give me everything that I need and what I want. So I got a selective forgetting, but I'll still forgive you.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I kind of I'll save my full explanation for later on in the episode, but I feel like that's that part of forget when we say forget, I think people confuse it with like completely forgetting the situation. Because I think for the most part, when people forgive, they forget the situation, right?
You're supposed to.
Yeah. No, hear me out. I'm just saying it blatantly. Like they forget the situation, but they don't really forget how it made them feel sometimes. Gotcha. And so they apply how that made them feel in that instance to whoever next is lining up in the same line of fire. If you get what I'm saying. But we'll go on the full discussion a little bit that later. But yeah.
So forgive, but don't forget. Is that healthy? And what I'm really asking is, you're holding on to trauma versus healthy release. Like, where do you take that? Where you going with that?
So I feel like when we get to this part here, specifically in the Black community, right? Talk to the Black community for sure right now, and where we get to the Black fathers not being black fathers or black mamas not being the black mamas that we need them to be and their kids to be to. So is it the trauma that we're holding on that we feel like, oh, like I was put in this situation because you weren't there for me, which is trauma. But then you also have those individuals as like, all right, you weren't there. I forgive you for not being there, but I'm gonna move on because I gotta live my life. So, like holding on to the trauma versus a healthy release, like I feels like we see both sides of the coin always, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we have those individuals who always have those daddy and mama issues for the rest of life, and that causes strife and problems in their future relationships, whether it be with a significant other or just with an employer or taking orders or how they conversate and things of that nature, versus the other person who like, all right, they're not here. I'll forgive them for that, but this is making me stronger and I'm gonna move on. And you have those individuals who go on and become tops in their fields, create their own businesses from that strife. So it's like, how much is holding on to trauma? How much is just a healthy release when it comes to forgiving and forgetting?
I feel like I'm an animality. And there might be people listening that might feel how I feel, but yo, bro, I'm actually kind of glad that I held on to some of that trauma because it's like I don't think I would have past tense had that edge that I had in pursuing, degrees or pursuing standing up for somebody that was being bullied and things like that. Like I wouldn't have had that edge if certain trauma wasn't there and I held on to it, didn't seek therapy for it and things like that. But then it gets to a certain season in your life where you have to release that because that's where stress comes from. That's where, high blood pressure comes from and paranoia. We don't talk about the paranoia that comes from trauma. You see what I'm saying? Like to this day, I have no problem saying this. Like real talk, me, I circled the block before I parked my car at my house, and I live in a relatively like nice area, a decent area. I don't care if bro, if I go to a stop sign, my G, right, and I'm like
Yeah,
4 or 5 stop signs away from my house, bro. If a car has been following me for 2 lights, now mind you, Houston's a huge city. Like somebody's bound to be behind you and follow you for 3, 4 blocks because y'all might live in the same area, y'all coming from the same place. But justice don't take them type of risks, bro. You got about 2 lights and 1 stop sign. If you still behind me, I'm circling, bro, and I'm hitting all left, rights, ups, down. But like that's from trauma. That's from being followed in the hood. So me holding on to that trauma and not forgetting it is a great thing for me. But then on the flip side of things, it's like that paranoia eventually is going to eat at you. Are you really living? Do I need to release it?
Ooh, that's
You know,
tough. That's
it's
tough. That's
yeah.
tough.
So, and that's me putting a magnifying glass on myself. So I can only imagine what people are feeling, with just that statement, forgive, but don't forget. It's like, all right, cool. I'll do that. But then what if I want to forget?
Mm.
You know? So, that's just my thing on it. But summing that up, if you think about my situation, right, with the circle and the block, that's a real question I got for you. Should I make peace with my past and my situation and stop circling the block?
So that's the part of it where I say that's not forgetting, right? The not
Mhm.
and as we go further in the episode, that's the piece that people miss with the forget part. Like when people hear this, forgive and not forget. We said it earlier, it's not so much as remembering the situation. It's more so how it made you feel. So you feel safe to circle the block. That's your way of not forgetting to protect yourself. So that's not. I feel like that's more of a healthy release because people would Other people will look like, oh, that's paranoia, blah, blah, blah. But no, that's keeping you sane. That's in my honest opinion, I think that's a healthy release. It's like you circle the block. Like some people just do it. Other people's don't. Like I know I do it. I look in the back of my mirror if someone's following me too long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at that mirror all the time. Like, yo, why this person on my butt? Like, hey, I turn, you turn. I turn, you turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it, and I understand what you're saying. Definitely, I do the same. I do the same thing if that was my whole trauma, paranoia. If it's part of my forgiving, not forgetting. But then again, I don't know if it's really a trauma at that point. Some people might say it's a trauma. Others might just be it's a safety measure.
It depends on what it's attached to.
That is also true.
You know what I'm saying? Like mine's attached to actual like being followed and then being fired on. Like they, you know what I mean? They came for us in the vehicle. So like at this time in my life, I'm like, yo, it's whatever, whenever, however, especially if I'm in a gun legal toting state. So if you following me, my mind, like yes, I'm supposed to forget. You saying it's a healthy release, but my mind automatically goes back to that time when I was back in X, Y, and Z place, and people was following us, and they ran up and boom, 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 throwing shots in the joint. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, Mike, always on site. It's always on site with me. I gotta always be ready. So I feel like that's always gonna be trauma to me. And I don't think there's a healthy release other than, hey, stop circling the block. But anybody that's from the hood listening is like, yo, don't do that. Like, yo, don't do that. Fam, don't you ever stop circling the block. But that's just a trauma that's gonna have to be there, fam. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they saying, yeah, okay, don't forget. But then again, it's like, all right, cool. I'll have this healthy paranoia that I'm circling the block. Yeah. But Mike, is that really healthy, bro? Because on the inside, it's like you got to think about what's happening on the interior of your body. Somebody is following you, right? That's not even really following you. I think of Mind playing tricks on me when he was like, he was being followed, and then it was just three blind, crazy, citizens. Citizen joints. But like, you got to think about what's happening with your body. Your heart is racing. You know, some people sweat. You know, your hands get sweaty, clammy. You get that knot in your stomach, and you kind of tense up because it's like, again, especially in Texas, everybody's holding, everybody's carrying, me included. So you gotta also add the fact that my hand is on my weapon, ready for the potential of I might have to take somebody's life or somebody's going to attempt to take my life. Yo, that's a lot on the interior of your body. So wouldn't it be better for me to be at peace and just release it and go, you know what? I believe in the Most High. So whatever's going to happen, I need to let it happen and just drive home? Or does that sound asinine?
Man, I look at it like, I see where you're going with that. I look at it like both ways. Both ways, honestly, could be healthy. And now hear me out how I'm going to say this.
All right.
So the second part, what you said about believing the Most High, if it's time, and all that, that's true. People go walking around their day just like that. But the other side of it is what you're saying. You're in a state where you're allowed to carry,
right?
And you don't know who's carrying. You're protecting yourself. That's why I went back to like, it came from a traumatic situation, but it's not forgetting. I feel like forgiving and not forgetting, like you can forgive the situation and move on. But it goes back to what I was saying. Forgetting is learning from that traumatic situation. You learn from that traumatic situation to protect yourself at all times. Some people may look at it as, oh, that's a traumatic crutch. I look at it as, I look at the situation. I'm looking at what state you live in. I'm looking at where you live at. He's just protecting himself. So
there's other factors for you.
Yeah, there's other factors. And so, like, the black men, and let me make sure I say this, the black men, that's going to seem normal because they don't know our traumas and live what we do daily. But when someone of the other persuasion sees it and hears a conversation like this, nah, you put yourself in danger. You shouldn't be carrying all the time. And we're gonna look at them like, so if someone run up on you and shoot you, you ain't gonna be happy that you got your gun on you. So it could be a healthy release because you're living by the situation that you live in. See now, where I think it gets misconstrued. Me knowing where you live now, right, is less likely of a chance of someone running up on you and just doing that, right?
Why you feel like that?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the chances are probably a lot lower than where we grew up.
I'm gonna agree with you to an extent. I do believe in karma, and you reap what you sow. And yes, I was a good kid, but I don't feel like I was a good person after 8th grade. So it's never a moment where I can just relax. That's just me being real, being candid with you, Mike, because I don't even know if you really even know that side of me. So he exists. He's not around anymore, but I can bring him out. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you to an extent. Karma is real. So I put nothing past anybody, bro. Anybody can run up, find the location of where I'm at. It's like, you know what? I remember this, and this. It's today's your day.
Facts.
So Facts. That's where I went with that. That's why I was like, where you going with that? But I'm listening. You got it.
So we're gonna specifically speak to the black man about forgiving and forgetting at this point, ladies and gentlemen. So, bro, I'm gonna ask you this question. And I think this is gonna be a very deep question right now. We're gonna go to a whole spell of different things. What have black men, and I prefaced this and I said black men specifically, been forgiven for, but it has not been forgotten? In your own opinion.
On a global scale or on a cultural scale, what are we talking?
However you want to take it, bro.
What have we been forgiven for, but it hasn't been forgotten? The first thing that comes to my mind is the thing that we always address, which is when they was buck breaking us and they was raping our women and forcing us to watch. The queens have not forgotten that. Now, is anybody alive that experienced that from way back when? No, but that is deeply ingrained in their DNA and in our DNA, and we can feel it. That's why the friction is so high in the black community between black men and black women. Like we be trying to explain it why it's like so off-putting, but it's like invigorating at the same time. It's like we got a weird dynamic. You know what I mean? We walk in the room. Yo, what's up, Queen? She's like, well, okay, what's up, King? But it's still a, you know what I mean? You look at it, but I feel like queens, their DNA has not let them forget, like, hey, that man can let you down. You got to do what you got to do for you. And that's why you got a lot of masculine women out here that's just like, yo, if you're not going to get it, I'm going to get it for myself.
Yep.
So I feel like that is a huge one. Other than that, yo, I don't think anybody out here really forgiving us for anything. We were persecuted too much for that. I mean, I could be wrong. I can't really think of anything else, bro.
And that's the reason why I asked the question, because I was even like, when I actually thought about this question, I was having a hard time thinking about anything besides that. I really have like the only other thing I think that we can say that we've been forgiven for is that. But the crazy thing is now when I'm thinking about other things, that's where it stems from. Fatherlessness, the broken families. Like you can't really place anything else. And I'm like, yo, this is wild. Like
the way I look at it, us as black men back then, in their eyes, they felt like the women felt like, yo, you let me down. You allowed me to be penetrated. You allowed me to be harmed. You allowed this man to do this to me. and his friends. You know what I mean? So it's like it was a certainty of untrust. Not all, but a good portion. You know what I mean? And that's still in the DNA. That's still dominant today, bro. You know what I mean? But like I said, there was moments in history where black men were like, "Nah, we're not going for it." The Black history, the Decepticon. Like you got pockets in history. Marcus Garvey. Like things happen, bro. You know what I mean? But miraculously, somehow, all these people got murdered or disappeared. Because Marcus Garvey disappeared, correct? Because he moved to Jamaica and then he disappeared, correct? I'm just trying to make. I believe that's how.
I believe so. Something like that. Y'all
can fact check that, but
yeah.
So I be baffled sometimes. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, like anytime as a black man, we strive to step up, step out, and do what we need to do what we feel we need to do. It's like our flame is like put out. And I remember, I forgot who it was. Somebody said something to me. They was like, yo, once you turn 30 as a black man, anything after that, you need to calm down. And that wild boy mentality in you, that rebel in you has to die because you gotta be a family man, you gotta be a father, you gotta just be an upstanding citizen. And that, bro, that I was told that as a youth, bro. That always stuck with me. And I always promised myself, I said, I'm never gonna do that. I want anybody in the room with me to always feel like, yo, Just is like that's an intelligent dude, but yo, he gonna really fight for the cause at any given Sunday, bro. It don't matter what time it's going, we gonna hit. Like, we need to leave that boy alone. Leave that man alone. Because bro, this is the picture that they pick. They say when we turn 30, anything after that, we become docile. We don't want no smoke.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't see.
So to summarize that, what they're saying is after 30 for black men, we become docile. We no longer want the smoke. We don't want to be rebels. And we just fan out. We slowly fan out. We don't stand for much. And we just take a back seat to everything. That's what I was told. And that's what I was told to do. And I was like, respectfully, I let them speak, but I was like, bro, I'm not doing that, bro. I promise you, when I turn 30, it's on. It's still gonna be up. Bro, I'm 30 going on 31. It's up.
Exactly.
Come holla at me. It's up. It's up.
So that makes no sense, man. That makes no sense.
Mike, it do actually make a lot of sense.
Well, no. I'm talking about. I'm saying like thinking about it, it makes no sense. But that statement actually does make sense because of how men were taught to survive and to make it out of here. I get it. I get it. But I feel as though like we need to realize, do they tell their kids that? And I'm talking about all these other ethnic backgrounds or let's say different color of skin. Their hues, different hues. That's the word I was looking.
But what other ethnicity is as rowdy as we are? That's also when I think about it, the only ethnicity that comes close is Mexicans. But you know how I feel about that. Yes, I appreciate Mexicanos. Okay, I appreciate the flag, but y'all black. Y'all black, bro. I'm not gonna keep playing this game with y'all, bro. Dominicanos, Puerto Ricans, y'all black, bro. Colombians, we're not gonna play this game. So y'all are lumped in that boat. Now, if you don't feel like you black, then okay, go join the other side. So be it. But who's as rowdy as us? Why would the other side say when you turn a certain age, you got to stop all the hoopla, you got to stop all the raging? They have nothing to rage about, Mike. We've been getting spat on, bro, for decades, bro. We upset, we aggravated. Pac said it best, bro. He was like, yo, we've been knocking on the door nicely, asking, can we please come in? We just need shelter. You raining on us. You keep slamming the door in our face. We still hungry. You know what I mean?
I love that
you want a little food.
I love that you're bringing up this point, bro.
My stomach touching. Can I have some food? Before it was, yeah, hey, master, can I have some food? Then it was, hey, me and you equal. So can you mind letting me in so I can find a way? I don't want a handout. Let me find a way. Let me go. Let me just walk in the kitchen.
Yep.
I'll figure it out. You
Yep.
still slam the door in our face. So like Pac said, y'all only gonna listen when we kick that damn door in. Yes, we got a reason to be rowdy, but you're not about to sit there and tell me at 30 it's gonna be mission accomplished because I'm 30 years old and society say, well, you're 30 now. You need to get over it. Slavery happened. Oh, well, buddy. You got, I promise you,
bro. You walk right into the next point, bro.
Talk to me.
Have we forgiven them for slavery?
As a whole?
As a whole.
My opinion. I think it's split down the middle.
Okay.
There is a 50% of the culture that is like, yo, stop talking about it. Let's move on. It happened. And then there's the other 50% that I am a part of that goes, I ain't forgetting nothing until y'all give me my 40 acres. I'm on it, bro. I'm on everything. I want everything too. And I don't want the mule. I already said that. I want a horse.
So you saying it's split down the middle.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
For me, it sounds like we still in the forgiving mode because we ain't forgetting nothing. And we trying to get what's ours. Even with the people not trying to talk about it as much. I feel as though we don't forget at all.
Yeah, but you said, do we forgive them for the slavery?
Yeah.
50% of us, I said what I said. The answer is no. You're not even forgiven. And does that hold us back as a people? Absolutely. Spiritually, yes, that does. Okay. But you can't change what it is. As a human, I'm telling you, no, I'm not forgiving you for nothing. Because I know in your heart that's who you still are. Because you haven't done what you're supposed to do. The Jewish got what they needed. The Asians got what they needed. Huh?
Speaking, bro.
And you can't call me anti-Semitic because I'm just telling you facts. These are facts.
Yeah.
Everybody got what they needed. Bro, between me and you, not between me and you, between everybody listening to the podcast, fam. It was like a year ago, 2 years ago. It was like, oh, somebody of Asian descent, something happened and it was some type of racism done to them. I forgot. I think it was Cali or something like that. Yo, your president signed in, your president, your president signed in a law that made it illegal to it was like a pro, stop Asian hate. You remember?
Yep, I remember.
Okay, but black people got him into office. Him and the other one. We ain't never gonna say her name on here. I don't care what y'all talking about. Oh, she black, whatever. Miss me with that. Cause she part of a frat, sorority. Don't do me, okay? Listen, where's our law at? Where's the anti-cop killing black men law? Where that's at?
Bro, you right. They just finally signed into law the lynching act. So and that's a federal hate crime. So
bro.
So no, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. When it comes to black people, we always get the short end of the stick.
So Mike, how can you ask if we've forgiven them for slavery? And that's why my response is 50% of us is still on it. Like, yo, bro, nah, y'all not being forgiven for nothing. And we not forgetting nothing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, unless the Most High finds a way to embody someone else and brings that to my doorstep as like justice, you first. I need you to forgive them for this, and this, and forget that it happened. And then tell everybody else that you know. That's the only way I'm doing it, bro. Because otherwise, bro, I don't care what nobody talking about. Y'all not getting no free passes from me, bro. It happened. You're not forgiven. Show me something first with your actions. Matter of fact, y'all got generational wealth, right? How'd y'all get that? Y'all stole a couple of patents from some black folks and say that y'all invented the light? Huh? Y'all invented, peanut butter and all of that. Did y'all do that? Was that ours? Get them patents back. Get them patents back. What's up, bro? Get them patents. Hey, Henry Ford.
Facts.
Henry Ford. Henry Ford's family, because he ain't here no more. Yo, take that whole distribution, run it and give it back to the person that really patented the motor vehicle. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Yo, I'm not forgiving nothing, Mike. I don't care what nobody talking about, bro, but you got it. What about you, Mike? You got it. What's up? What about you?
And I brought up the question because I don't think I don't think it's have ever been honestly asked. I haven't heard it myself. And the reason why we don't ask it is because we're still trying to get what's ours.
That was me being a human, right? That was me ranting as a human. Spiritually, Mike, it was written. That's it. It was written. If we're the only people that matches up to what happened to those people that were stripped of their language, stripped of their names, am I lying?
You're not, sir.
In the history books, we are the only people that matched up to that, taken away to foreign lands and things like that. So it was written. So spiritually, you can't even be upset. But again, like I said before, that is lifted. So it's time for us to forgive you. And it's also time for you to make right. Where it's at.
I hear you, bro.
Biden and the other one were supposed to do that. You know what I mean? You want to start somewhere? You don't want to do reparations first? No problem. You can start with them student loans. What's up, man? It's a start, Mike. Because, and I'm being petty, but I'm being serious because the most people that are holding those student loans and drowning in those student loans are Black folks, people from impoverished communities. And again, for anybody listening, going, oh, what about the Hispanics? Shut up. Y'all are Black. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm saying. Us, the impoverished community, the people that had to take out loans because our mama didn't have 20K in the bank. You know what I'm saying? People like me that had to go and leave my home state, fly 100 miles and 100 miles away to go out of state and not understand how that worked. And I'm paying more for out of state tuition. That's my fault. Or is it really? Because nobody taught me about in-state and out-state tuition. Huh? And they don't get me started on how back in the day, when you walked in for the orientation, they used to have a bunch of tables set up where you can get a credit card. Kids from the hood don't know what a credit card is. What's that, yo? You can get a $500 limit. What I got to do? Just sign your name here. It's yours. Yo, hold on. I sign my name there. I get $500. Where that's at? Run me that. Give me 3 of them things. Okay? We the problem, though. We wasn't educated on that. Because the homeboy Billy walked up in there and was like, nah, I'm not doing that. APR is too high. The AP what? What is that? Bro, you tripping. You better get this $500, bro. Billy, you wildin'.
Yo, bro, you talking right, though, bro. You talking right.
But you want me to forgive a group of people for slavery, which hasn't stopped? All right, I'll be open to forgiving y'all if it stopped, Mike. If it stopped, we still...
Bruh, you know I'm only asking the question. Come on now. You know I know the reality of this. Yeah, man. I understand. I only asked the question because we ask the question that people don't want to answer. We're trying to give an answer to.
I wish we had somebody on here from the other side. Our side, right? It's the cultural side, but from the other 50% of the side that says get over it, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, get it. Because I believe in getting it too. Don't sit there and linger.
See, that's the thing though. That side is saying I just get it, but like you gotta do both because it's not we think about self too much in this damn country. That's the first thing.
Who's
think
that?
about self.
Self?
You think about self.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instead of the each one teach one, I'm doing this for my grands, my great grands, for them to have it better than me. Like if everyone just has that mindset, we'd be in a better spot.
We used to.
We did.
And then they continued to snuff us out one by one, the ones that was doing that.
Mhm.
Mike, bro, I'm just
Hey,
frustrating, bro. Black
it
man
really
misunderstood. Real talk. Like, that is a
Facts.
misunderstanding right there.
Fact.
Because people look at us and they're like, you're a hoodlum, you're a thug. And it's like, yo, I am a product of what your folks left me in. And I made the best dues of my situation. And then when I make it to a point where I'm in the same rooms as you, now it's a problem.
Exactly. Hey, but that's the conundrum, forgiving and forgetting.
Listen, I'm open to forgiving anybody that has DNA from the people that were slave owners. You hear me? I'm open to forgiving. Do what's right. Just do what's right. You got about 15 rental properties and then one mansion that you in. Give up 14 of those rental properties and that mansion and go live in one of your rental properties. Give them up to the Black community. Give it up to the single mother with 4 kids. I didn't ask you how she got those 4 kids. That ain't none of your business. If she on food stamps, if she on Section 8, I didn't ask you none of that, my G. Just give her one of those and give and continue to give each person in the community. Let us from there, that point forward, let us figure it out what we gonna do. Now, if we get it and we toss it, that's on us. Absolutely. Okay. But then each one teach one comes into place. You got all these millionaire real estate people that need to come in and educate, we'll do all of that. But bro, the resources, we ain't got them. We've been red lines. You just forgive you for what? Mike, let me explain it to you like this. I've been doing this all morning, by the way, with my clients, bro. All right. And I want to be very clear. I saw clients and then I jumped right on here with Mike B. Okay. This is what I was telling my client today. I was like, yo, if I was slapping you for 12 years straight and you finally one day randomly decide to put your hand up, block the slap, and me, I go, my bad. I know I've been slapping you for 12 years. Please forgive me. You gonna forgive me right then and there? Okay. Now, I don't want you to answer that. Let's just say your answer is yes. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you a punk. That makes you someone with a good heart. I ain't mad at that. But what happens when I've been slapping you with my right hand, right? For 12 years. But what happens? You got my right hand in your hand now, right? You done blocked it. What happens when I start hitting you with this left? And you done forgave me. That's, in a nutshell, what you asking of me, Mike. Do you forgive them from slavery? Okay, so you want me to forgive them for slapping me for these decades, okay? I'm going to block it with my hand. Forgive them, right? As soon as I forgive them, boom, from the other side. No, I ain't forgiving nothing. Y'all holler at me when y'all put your hands out. Matter of fact, saw your hands off. Then come talk to me. Saw both of them off. Saw both of them off. And put your head in a restraint. Then we can talk about some forgiveness. So now I know you can't hit me with nothing because your legs you ain't too privy yet. I don't care how much MMA training you got. As long as I keep my distance and be wise, you can't hit me. I forgive you. Now I'll forgive you. And I'm gonna pray for you.
Yo, you dumb. You dumb for that.
Go ahead, Mike.
Bruh, forgive and forget, man. It's a topic that always will be here. It's tough for certain things, and people don't realize how tough it is. It could be for a traumatic experience. It just could be something little. But the not forgetting part is even more because it weighs heavy on us. And people don't take that into account. So, folks, when it comes to forgiving and forgetting, just know it's never all that easy. It's a process. It takes time. But then also, you can't be forgiven for something if you continually still doing it and you're just trying to change the way you're doing it. Come on now.
That's all the neighborhood therapist trying to say, Mike. That's it. I might say it a little bit more spicy, but that's what Mike be there for. He gonna make sure that is interpreted it properly, politically correct. Say it again for him one more time.
Man. Forgive and forget. You can't forgive someone that keep changing up and doing it in different ways. I'm saying it a different way for you guys to understand. You can't constantly forgive. That's not really forgiving someone because you're not really wanting forgiveness because you're going to do it anyway. So until you change completely and stop it. That's the only time when forgiveness can really step in. But just remember, we won't forget. Can't forget everything. You can forget some parts of it. Can't forget everything. And with that said, I think we see y'all next week.
What up, listeners? Mike B here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on IG at BMM_podcast. On TikTok at BMM Podcast. Facebook, just type in the Black Man Misunderstood Podcast. And then you can find The Neighborhood Therapist at The Neighborhood Therapist on IG. And you can find myself at Mike B_BMM on IG. And if you want to connect with our producer, the DJ himself, Mr. DJ Daxter, check him out at DJ Daxter on IG. All right, folks. See y'all next week.